sinks in.
You know what is exactly like? Do you guys play poker? When you play poker against someone who understands the odds, he can, he understands position and all that, it's kind of harder to win against that person, right? I mean, it's easier. I'm sorry. It's easier. No, it's easier. I'm sorry, my bad. It's easier to win against that person. When you play poker against the person who doesn't fucking understand poker, it's kind of hard to win against him. Because because he doesn't know. He doesn't know shit. He just fucking put his money in there and he gets lucky. Boom.
Exactly.
It's the same fucking shit. So you will never win against them because they talk nonsense and they strongly believe in it. And if you want to educate them, you have to start from an early age.
I think what you should understand is that the root of it is purely psychological. So basically, they are like addressing some of the basic anxieties, like the four anxieties that the Yalom defines, like loneliness, the anxiety of death, the anxiety of nothingness, and anxiety of freedom. We have like four basic anxieties, and they have rooted these psychological anxieties to religion. And this is like a psychological problem. You cannot win with argument.
I want to invite the young lady and welcome her to the stage. Friend of mine, sweetheart, very loud vocalist on this app. She started saying it before it became mainstream. She wanted to amplify the Iranian voices, and it was crazy. It was the next day. That was in the media, amplifying the voices of Iranians. And she was the first person I heard say that. Do I fight with her? All the time. Do I love her? Like, very much so. It's because she's a very strong, passionate woman, and I want to pass the mic to her. And
wow. Hey, yeah, I'm just on my lunch break. Came in here to see what's up, and then I saw the question posed to the room around, are Iranians not doing enough? And I think that what exactly is it that we want Iranians to do other than to listen to what Israeli analysts are saying on TV on top of what their leader of the opposition, Reza Pahlavi, has asked them to do in order to, maintain their lives as best as they can. I mean, reports are coming out of Israel saying that the way that they're guesstimating things is that there's an uprising within a matter of weeks on behalf of the Iranian people. I mean, Iranian people have been going to their families, they've been going to if they go to their own child's funeral on the day of the Persian New Year to maybe just for one moment be there at their child's grave, they're being taken into custody, and we still don't know what's happening to them. Right now, Iranians, every single day, more than 300 people have been, in the last couple of weeks, have been executed within these prisons. So Iranians are still paying quite a heavy price. And I would say that a better question isn't if unrest will return, it's whether the next wave becomes coordinated enough to actually challenge the system. That's a better question to ask. And so I think that context and framing, I know that, I definitely know that the intent of this room is something good. Let's just try to make sure that intent and content match up and are meeting the moment in a really appropriate way.
Absolutely. I agree with that too. Because it could be interpreted that, the poll question could be interpreted that they're not doing anything at all. I get what you're saying, Roya. Whereas a lot more nuance in that is what's going to have to happen is, like you're saying, is phase 2 is what we're really going to watch to see what the Iranian people do. And if they, fail there, then maybe there's some more criticism that could come from that, right? Basically, Roya?
I'm just saying that we don't need to preemptively, in a time in which, so much of the world is in pain. We're in a very critical, high stakes, high anxiety. This could be the Berlin Wall of our generation. This could be something real. This shit is hitting the fan quick, and we want it to come to fruition. Revolutions are something not to take. It's a very the moment and environment for revolution to happen is something rare and few and far between. And when the opportunity comes, one must be ready to take it by the horns and make it happen, right? And so I think that, again, the better question is like, what are the parameters that need to be put in place? What structurally, globally, attention-wise, military-wise, needs to be put on from the external forces, right? Is that going to be enough to create a crack in the apparatus of this regime? Or is what we're doing enough to, create the environment that's ripe for people to uprise? That is the situation for almost most of the successful revolutions of human history. So I do think that on top of the internal, mobilization of people, which is something that, I know that's not the intent, and I'm not even saying that it's this room. I'm just noticing, like, it's being examined more on an interpersonal level, whether that's the intent. I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but it's just a little bit demoralizing because I don't understand why people would think that a nation that just lost 50,000 of its people and are searing in anger about this regime. I think that they've pretty much made the case with the blood of their children, the blood of their families, and that they don't want this regime anymore. And I'm kind of getting sick and tired of that question being posed instead of having questions that are actually pertinent to the moment.
Like what?
Like, when is the next phase going to kick in? Is what the U.S. and Israel doing? Is it weakening the infrastructure, the regime enough in order for people to be able to topple it in the next coming weeks? I mean, these are the type of questions that would be interesting to examine as a group. As a first-generation Iranian-American Jew, I'm interested in understanding people's perspectives of this geopolitical and cultural moment, So that would be an interesting topic. But that's just my 2 cents.
Who was the gentleman? Was that Pontus?
Yo, Shalom.
Hi, Panther.
Shalom.
And Salam
Hi, Ann. Hi,
alaikum to
Pontus.
everyone else.
Hi, Pepe. Shalom. Shalom.
Hey, Paul.
Alaikum.
What's up, Pepe?
Howdy.
And
I think, and to add to that, I think it's important to add, are Iranians doing enough? It's for the people that are against Iran and are for the IRGC, and then they can come in here and hear strong voices that, yes, they are doing enough. They're waiting to march to be able to take back their country, and they can hear an answer to that question instead of going into rooms that are slamming Iranians and in support of the IRGC. I think it's important to have the opposite and clickbait them in, and they're like, yeah, this is my room. It's against Iran, and then they can hear from strong Iranian voices, yeah, they're waiting for Reza Pahlavi. They're waiting for Israel. They're waiting for the United States of America to say, go to the streets, and them to take back their country.
Well, I feel like another question is, what mechanisms would allow decentralized protests to become a coordinated action? What's missing? Is it...
Why did you give BBA a mod? That nigga's nasty. Honestly, that nigga's fucking dirty.
Thank you, bro. How you doing, you one-tooth wonder?
here we go. Lollipop in the mouth.
Lollipop in the mouth.
Yo, this nigga is such a snitch. I was in another room and this nigga was out here trying to suss a nigga's whole plan. Like, why are you such a rat? Like, you don't have to be a rat. Like, you could be a real nigga, but no, you choose to be a bitch nigga. That's crazy work.
Okay, what plan? Air it out, man. Air it out. What room? This is the only room.
No. Yo, this guy's such a liar. See, now I know why Matt was on your ass, because you're such a liar. Nigga, you're such a... I'm not even gonna argue.
So tell me, you little booty shaker. Come on, tell me, you one-tooth fucking wonder. You like Ray Charles with a fucking queer. Come on, tell me.
Listen, all I know is...
Come on.
Everyone was right about you. You was a fucking liar.
I know. Tell me.
Who even gave this nigga a mod? Like, who gave this nigga a mod? That's what I want.
Oh, that's so sad. You're so hurt.
But guess what? But I bet you can't fight me in real life, though. Can you?
I'll slap you. You wake up next week asking for a fucking lunch, buddy.
Nigga, are you stupid, man? Nigga, I will make you hold my pockets and then have you run into the store. You will be running to the store for a bag of chips for me.
Okay, anyways, let's stick on topic, okay? Never mind your queer shit. What do you think about Iran? I want to know what you honestly think.
That's honestly
I have no thought.
What do you mean? Should Iran host the next gay pride parade?
Nigga, do you know you should have the next dick in your mouth? That's what you're gonna have. The next dick in your mouth, bitch. That's exactly what you're gonna motherfucking have.
Should there be a competition between Israel and Iran who holds the best gay pride parade?
Listen.
What? I believe there should be an after party and it should be in your mouth and everybody should come.
Listen, all I have to say is, yo, my name.
Oh my God.
What a mess. What a mess.
Farhad, how are you?
I do, Farhad.
Listen, all I know is at the end of the day, you can't fight me in real life. That's all.
Okay, I know you're right.
How are you guys doing?
Good. We're just dealing with some gay guy on stage, but that's okay. How you
You
doing?
can never
Farhad?
deal with me.
What's your...
Like, honestly, man, I am disappointed in you for giving this guy a mod. Why you give this nigga a mod?
Well, we'll have to deal with that later. Sorry. Little booty shaker. If you're not going to say anything positive or conclude, like, anything that has anything good to do with the room, or even be like viral a little, like, create some content. Don't be saying the same thing. Like, if I wanted any more comeback from you, I would ask you to scrape the roof of your mouth. But it's stale with you.
Nigga, the only thing is your whole fucking personality, nigga.
Okay, there you go. Sorry. Farhad, I apologize for the dirty trash that was on stage right now. We just cleaned up the room. I had the janitor come in and throw out the trash. If he learns to behave himself, we'll have him come back up on stage. Farhad, what do you think about the title? What do you think about what's going on in Iran? Please talk to me. Are Iranians doing enough? Could they do more? Is religion the root of all evil? And did Mikhail make Clubhouse an unsafe place?
Listen, in the near future, Iran, Israel, and USA, they are basically very close friendship between these three countries. Of course, America and Israel are close friends. Iran is soon going to join them, and it's going to change the whole, political, geopolitical situation in Middle East, because the mullahs government in Iran, who is holding Iranian people as a hostage, is going to collapse soon. And this regime has created all these terrorist network all over. Shia, Sunni, everything is created and founded by this regime, by the mullahs, by Khomeini and Khamenei, who are not dead, thanks to President Trump. And big thank you to Bibi Netanyahu. Iranian people, they love him. He's a great leader.
Why do the Iranian people love Bibi Netanyahu in Israel?
Yeah, because he always say nice things about the Iranian people, and we have a common enemy.
No, I know. But is talking cheap or is action worth more? Has Israel done the action that the Iranian people need?
Action. Netanyahu is the man action. Whatever he said, he basically accomplished number of things. And if it wasn't for him, we don't know what would be happening in Middle East. And the mullahs may have an atomic bomb now.
Farhad,
Netanyahu is a great man.
which religion do you practice?
Hold on, Farhad. Let
Shia,
Farhad
Sunni?
just ask you a question.
Hello, Farhad. Are you Shia, Sunni, or?
It doesn't matter. I'm Iranian.
I know you're Iranian, and I know Iranians are nationalists, but the
I'm
reason why
non-religious. Iranians are non-religious, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked that
Yeah,
is
my
because-
family, like my father, my grandfather, my grandmom, basically, they practice Shia. Of course. But we first refer to our nationality. We don't refer to our religion. Unlike, for example, people from India, with all respect, when you ask them, they say, "Yeah, I'm Muslim from India."
So are you Iranian or are you Persian?
I'm Iranian.
You're
And
not
Persian.
What is first though?
The reason why I said that, I was just kind of a little suspicious. You don't hear many Iranians speaking or singing the praises of Benjamin Netanyahu, unless they were like that lady that was on stage earlier who happens to be Jewish. And
Well, I'm not
one of my
Jewish.
fraternity
I'm not
brothers was
No,
one of my fraternity brothers was an Iranian
Yeah,
Jew,
don't
so
get me wrong.
I get.
I understand. I'm not Jewish Iranian. I'm, like my family, my parents, they were Shia. But I didn't see anything good in, practicing this religion. So I'm non-religion.
Well, what's the problem for, like, what is the problem if someone said good things about Bibi? That's what I'm.
There is no
that's my
problem.
thought.
You just don't hear many people saying good things about Bibi who are also Iranian nationalists. You'll hear American evangelicals, you'll hear Republicans, you'll hear Democrats. You're not going to hear many Iranians say anything about Benjamin Netanyahu.
To me, Bibi and Trump are patriots, and I respect them like very much. And I'm not Jewish. I'm Iranian. So same shit over.
Wait, Pontus, this is so unclear. You're saying that there are Iranians who don't support Bibi, but that's not uncommon. I mean, there's a lot of non-support of Bibi, right? What's the big revelation there?
This is the same country of people that chant death to America, death to Israel. And you guys want me to believe in the year of our Lord 2026, all of a sudden they like Benjamin Netanyahu.
That's where you're
Please
wrong.
tell that
Though.
to someone.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
that's
I'm not
false.
convinced.
Yeah, I don't think.
Well, that's where you're wrong, though. You're talking about the regime and its supporter.
Yeah.
Fine, yeah.
Hold on, I think I know what he's saying.
That's not the vast majority of Iranians.
I think I know what he's saying, guys.
American death to Israel. No, I got what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
No,
And
I know.
it's assuming every Iranian does it.
Means. I think I know what he really means behind it. And there's a lot of people that are speculating this too lately. I'm going to ask you, Pontus, do you believe a better Iran is a divided and unstable Iran for the Middle East and the world today?
That's a straightforward question, but it's loaded because of the geopolitical implications. The people within the borders of modern day Iran, would they be better off with a fragmented Iran?
Not about the people in Iran. I didn't ask that. I said, would the world be safer off today?
Oh, would the world be safer?
Would Israel be safer?
Yeah.
The US be safer?
Yeah, there's an article called or titled "The Sykes-Picot 2026." I don't know if y'all have read it. There is an argument to be made for balkanized Iran, and a security argument at that to be made to benefit the region.
Are you leaning toward that would be a better for?
Yeah, not based off of my own research, but what I've read the argument to be made for it, and I can see it. Yeah.
But if it's not your own research and you read it, wait, did somebody? What?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards it because they provided
that's stuff that you read, so that's your own research.
I didn't author the Sykes-Picot agreement, as you know, but
but you read it. You've done your okay.
Yes. So I read it. They provided their sources, their arguments, and stuff, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see that. I can go along with it.
Bima, do you agree with him that a better
I'm just
world
providing
today
my
would be a
source.
unified, balkanized, separate, unstable Iran would be the world would be in a safer position? Bima?
I'm gonna have to. I don't think that anything I can say. It doesn't matter.
Go ahead. It's okay.
No, I just think.
Do you want to decline the answer? Get your blood pressure. You want to keep it lower for a couple more hours?
I just think, that, to be honest with you, I don't know what I think anymore.
But Bibi, what he said, it had nothing to do with what you asked him. He's saying,
no, I already know he doesn't want a unified, strong Iran. That's a threat to him.
It's probably that's also what he wants, but he's assuming or spreading this word that
that's what he's saying.
Majority of Iranians.
That's what he's saying. That's why he's saying it's weird to hear Iranians say we love Bibi. I know why he's saying that. Because he's saying don't trust Iran. Don't trust Iranians. He's saying. I know what he's saying.
Know where he's doing it intentionally.
This is all
he's intentionally doing it. He knows.
Continue.
He's saying it can't be trusted. Okay, I'm going to ask you a straight question.
Yes.
Can Iranians be trusted?
Absolutely, they can be trusted.
So then, why would you question what Osho was saying? That Iranians are saying, "Thank God to Bibi," and you just said you haven't heard that, and you don't understand why they could say that.
No,
so
here's the thing.
Because they are the majority of the people. They are not the full people.
Look, vast majority of Iranians hate the regime, right? When vast majority of Iranians hate the regime, that means those people are not going in the street and say death to America, death to Israel. So it shouldn't sound weird to you at all.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, by default, does that make them pro-Israel, though? That's the question, I think. That's right, Ocean? Just because you hate the regime doesn't make you pro-Israel, right? Is that what
it doesn't make you. I am pro-Israel myself. I can speak for myself. I'm pro-Israel for sure. I'm not Jewish, but I'm pro-Israel for sure. And it has nothing to do with Bibi doing this and basically helping us. I've been this way for a long ass time because the truth is out there. Is the Muslims and Arabs' fault for all these conflicts, throughout this fucking decades of war and shit. It's not Israel's fault. They did it. They brought it themselves. So it is what it is.
Okay, so now let's kind of recenter me real quick. And I'm open to y'all give me the objective outsider perspective of how I interpret this. But my question still stands. Why in 2026 am I, and probably a lot of other people, hearing about this coalition of I'm not even going to say Israeli, pro-Benjamin Netanyahu, tangentially Likud government, this coalition of Iranians that are in support of Benjamin Netanyahu? Why am I just now hearing about this?
Well, a part of it is probably because he's helping Iranians. But again,
we're going to take a small break for 2 seconds. Everybody hold where they were. Nobody come off mic. I want everybody that's in the room that has red tickets in their profile. I see Pepe and you're a loyalist. I don't understand why. But I see Meg, I see Mina, I see Michael, I see Mathilda, I see Diogenes. Bunch of people in the audience, please click on the top of the screen where it says President Trump. It's gonna, when you click on it, it's gonna say join house. Cash in your red tickets. Once you cash in your red ticket, they're gonna give you a green ticket in exchange. You can hand the drink girl at the bottom. She's gonna hand you a dirty martini or whatever drink you want. There's free hors d'oeuvres. There's also, we've got installed this earlier on this morning, there's a sex swing. If you are disrespectful while you are on stage and somebody screams, shoot ya, and you get shot and thrown to the bottom of the stage, you can enjoy that sex string and get fucked. Don't disrespect the mods. Enjoy the room. Don't interrupt people. Let them speak uninterrupted for at least a minute and a half. And if somebody is disrespectful, especially towards women in this room, scream, shoot them, and I will shoot them to the bottom of the stage. I stole that from Bima. Please enjoy. Join the house. Have fun. Let's have good conversation. Please invite people. It's a 2-for-1 raffle. You invite people, we'll give you 2 tickets for your raffle. It's a 50-50 draw. It'll happen next week. We'll let you know. And then
vouchers too?
Yes. Okay, so go ahead, Ocean. I apologize for interrupting.
Yeah, so part of it.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Invitation. What Trump did, how he talked about the whole. I wanted to say something. I was in the room and I called someone a whore, and I was immediately accused of being a misogynist. And I wondered,
fucking guys,
you realize what you're saying is that whores don't exist, or if calling a woman a whore, you understand? Like, if calling a woman a whore means you hate all women, you're saying all women are whores. That's the logic that would be implied. So the issue's not mine. I love women. I'm married. I think women are great. I think they're essential for reproduction and thus our existence as a species. They're really fantastic. Really what I want to talk about more than anything is your perspective as people in the room called President Trump or the House President Trump, how you're dealing with the lying. What is it just a broad expectation that he's going to continue to lie and that's okay?
You're going to have to be specific with what lies you're talking about, sir.
Yeah, for example, when Trump says, I'm going to do this thing in this period of time, and then says, I'm not going to do that thing, that's a lie. And even my children understand that
you don't change
is a
your
lie.
mind ever? You don't change your mind?
So to change your mind is a lie.
Do you love your wife? Do you always love your wife?
Yes. Do you have questions, BB, about, do you have children? I don't know, because if you try to tell a child, we're going to go out for popsicles, you say, child, we're going to go out for ice cream tonight. And then you come home, and, you had a hard day at work, things didn't go the way that you wanted. And you take off your jacket, and your kids, they storm you. And they say, when are we going for ice cream? And you're like, what? Daddy, you said we were going for ice cream. And you say, no, Daddy's too tired. They say, Daddy, you said. And it's like, I'm changing my mind. The children understand that you lied to them. Because when you made the obligation, you committed to doing the thing, you didn't qualify it. You didn't say, we will go for ice cream tonight unless Daddy is too tired. And so the children recognize that is a lie. You deceived us. You told us what we wanted to hear just to make us happy, and you didn't intend to deliver on it, or you had some hidden qualifications which we were never privy to before we set our expectations. So
have you ever changed your mind, sir?
I've absolutely changed my mind.
Have you ever changed your mind without pre-qualifying what you were saying?
I have absolutely changed my mind. But I would offer to you the suggestion that when I change my mind with regards to my relationship to my children, which is very important to me, it doesn't have national implications. And that in my capacity as an employee of a company, I am not allowed to change my mind offhand. When I say that I'm going to do a thing,
if it's going to lead the company down to destruction, and you change your mind to lead it on a better path, you've done something good. And maybe the childish people that work for your company don't see the better future that happens today, but will affect it tomorrow. But the people that are looking at the long game and understand and have trust in your leadership, understand why you made that decision for a better country and a company that'll lead them to prosperity, more income, and a better retirement plan, and they have faith in their boss.
So has Trump lied, in your opinion, has Trump lied to the American public?
No.
He's never lied to the American public?
No.
Okay.
I think he rearranges things for a better tomorrow.
Wait, no, hold on. I don't want to get confused here. I just want to be clear. You're saying Trump, in his capacity as the president, has never lied.
And humans make mistakes sometimes, and nobody's perfect. And sometimes they may say this and that. And that's part of being a human, to understand that things will change. And if you're going to be a child about it and say, but he said it's red. Mommy, I'm complaining. He said it's red. He lied to me. I want to fucking put my feet on the ground and stop and complain. You're a child. You're not an adult. You're not understanding that things change. And sometimes they change for the better. And sometimes they change for the worse. And that is part of life.
Okay, and what do you think that the outcome that will quantify success in this war against Iran will be?
That's hard to say. I'd like to pass it on to somebody high.
Anyone who's
Yeah, I'll tell you what I think. First of all, the answer is different for Israel and for the U.S. For the U.S., it would be...
I'm only asking about the U.S. I don't give a fuck about your little project, Israel.
Right.
I care about the United States.
The project responsible for your prosperity and your Western way of living.
Look, let's just set that aside.
Send me a check in the mail.
BB specifically said someone else was going to answer on his behalf for what the success in Iran looks like for the United States. I'm not concerned with Israel.
Right, removal of a ballistic missile threat, removal of the ability for Iran to at least threaten to majorly disrupt oil markets around the world, the removal of Iran to their ability to support multiple proxies around the Middle East, which are causing a massive headache for literally everyone, maybe with the exception of Asia and some parts of
on Donald Trump?
Oh, please.
You can shut the fuck up and not interrupt. How about that?
The removal of the potential for nuclear weapons in the short and medium-term future. So no ballistic weapons, which are almost guaranteed to
I'm going to shit on you if you don't let me
my
shit.
God. I put her sex swing thing.
No nuclear weapons.
Enjoy the sex swing. Get fucked.
Good. I'll recap. No nuclear weapons. I think that's accomplished for at least a number of years, many years. No ballistic missiles. I think that's to a very large degree has been accomplished and will be completely accomplished by the end of the conflict. Removal of the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas. I'm pretty sure that's been accomplished to a large degree, and they will cease to exist when this conflict is over. And I think these are the major ones: nuclear, ballistic, and disruption to the world via proxies. So most of it's been accomplished, even if not perfectly.
Okay, I want to try and understand this so that as someone who is
as well, without saying not to murder innocent people in the streets of Iran.
Okay, so if I understand this correctly, the success for the United States of America in this conflict against Iran will be to first and foremost to prevent Iran from possessing ballistic missiles. Now, this begs an important question. I don't want to take it for granted. When we're talking about Iran, I'm confused because all of the things that are listed there, they seem like things that without occupying Iran, we could never ensure didn't occur. So that we would need to actually occupy Iran or install a client state in perpetuity. So my concern is this. This would include regime change, either sponsored regime change or direct regime change. Is that not fair?
I think a regime change is inevitable because I can share in the text video from 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago where multiple leaders said, we will never give up the attempt to destroy Israel and then destroy the U.S. So yes, that regime has to go.
Well, they say we, and so you're saying we're going to make a list of individuals. We're going to make sure that. So really, you have to establish then a mindset, right? And you, because any individual currently existing within Iran could, at any point, the Islamic Revolution in Iran was, a group of individuals essentially overthrowing the client state, the regime, the monarch Reza Pahlavi, and replacing that, right? And then there's the source of your problem. So essentially, you're saying we have to have some kind of standard, right? Some kind of rubric. We'll have everyone measured against it to determine whether or not they're allowed to think and express and have agency within the state of Iran. Is that correct?
No, because again, you're just like yesterday. This is not an academic discussion. Every single country around the world can allow for homegrown terrorists to build a missile and attack a neighboring country. But there's a major apparatus that needs to be built around these capabilities. And any self-respecting country, as we can see by the evidence we have around us, won't allow for something like that to happen because there's too much for them to lose. So I expect that the same mechanism will come into action in Iran, especially because 85, 75, 95% of the population doesn't want to deal with any of that shit. They're worried about sending their kids to school and having steak for dinner. And that's not the same. That's not true in many other Arab countries around the Middle East. And even those broken Arab countries are managing to avoid sending terrorists around the world to blow shit up, including developing missiles to terrorize the world. So I don't think it's that far-fetched. Like it won't be perfect, but it won't be a major threat.
Okay, so we agree that Iran is not the only sponsor of terrorism. It's just the worst, right? In your opinion, that you know, because I wouldn't agree with that last part. I don't know why I said that. We would agree that if Iran is not involved, you know, things like terrorist attacks are going to happen. I think you're trying to acknowledge that when you say any country in the world has the ability to, you know, have a population, some segment of the population, develop different ideas. I really want to focus on, you know, the fact that before the 1970s, the late 1970s Islamic Revolution in Iran, you know, you had Iran in an ideal place. Wouldn't we agree that Israel didn't have a problem with Iran prior when Reza Pahlavi was in power, his family was in power? I mean, did Israel?
Israel had a love affair with Iran, and common geopolitics trends and circumstances, some of which could be blamed on the West, fucked it up. But that's not to say that it was malicious or designed that way. People's interests sometimes lead to unfortunate circumstances.
Wants to get rid of the law and
Reza Pahlavi, whatever.
Then gives 15
How would you
million
pronounce
to
it?
developers and
I'm
IT
pretty sure it's Pahlavi.
I am Illinois
Pahlavi,
16.
Reza Pahlavi.
It's gonna be
Women's a fraud.
It's
Pahlavi.
And a parasite that has created 25 trillion in
you believe that
funded debt.
prior to the Islamic Revolution, Iran was acting in a manner that is reasonable, and it shouldn't have had its affairs interfered with. Before I move past that, I hope that you'll help me understand. Was that an ideal situation for the majority of the population in Iran?
For the majority, yes. I understand that there's some people that were not happy with what you want to refer to it as the status quo, but that there's always a segment of the population that feels underprivileged, underserved, you know, and so on.
Yeah. Who was it then that was ultimately responsible for the Islamic Revolution? What foreign nations sponsored and supported or incited that overthrow?
mainly it was a leftist. Most of them were leftist.
I don't know what she's saying. She's saying leftist. I'm talking about. So what I'm trying to bring into your consciousness right now, and then hopefully as we move past that specific point, is the understanding that there are always going to be conflicts between human beings, and those conflicts are going to play out in a microcosm and in a macrocosm. We're going to have conflicts in our interpersonal relationships. We're going to have conflicts in our communities. We're going to have conflicts between states, conflicts between nations. We will never do away with conflict until the last man, woman, and child on this planet has ceased to exist. I mean, this is a eschatological basis, and every religion recognizes that these struggles will always exist. So when we look at our conduct, and I mean when the United States collectively looks at itself and its conduct, we should always base our actions on the consent of the governed. Now, with a specific focus on Iran, I'm being told by Tom that the Pahlavi, excuse me, the monarchy, that is an ideal relationship for the people of Iran. That he is in a good place. Now, right at this current moment, one of the conditions that Tom has offered as a satisfactory outcome from the United States' undeniable interference in Iranian affairs is to eliminate the regime. You can define that as broadly as you'd like or as narrowly as you like. It isn't relevant. There was a regime change, though, and that regime change resulted in the Islamic Revolution taking power. And I'm trying to help you understand. I'm hoping everyone understands. The Islamic Revolution was the people that were Iranian expressing their will and seizing control of their state. Now, all revolutions, all successful revolutions, success being defined as coming to control the national policy of the geographic region, all of them are the result of people utilizing their AC and acting in concert with one another. So my question is really, who was it that came from outside of Iran?
Hold on. This goes back to, remember how you asked you for ice cream and you were tired and you said no? And you changed your position? Why can't people change their position and realize that for 47 years they're being held as hostages in their own country and maybe they've made a mistake?
Well, so I'm not going to tell you that I'm being. So hold on. Tom made an argument, and I think it's fair, and I think that it's a reasonable and pragmatic perspective that at any given time in any given nation there are going to be a subset of the population that are not happy. You can please some of the people all of the time, and you can please all of the people some of the time. So
do you believe that the people living under the IRGC are living fruitfully and like living okay? Do you believe? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that it's absolutely none of my business as an American who is staring down an illegitimate government with $40 trillion in nominal debt, 80 to 100 trillion in unfunded liabilities that is essentially bankrupt, interest payments for which are outstripping tax receipts, to bother with invading a foreign sovereign nation, especially when we have the domestic capabilities and capacities we do. So
hold on. Your neighbor now, if your neighbor's getting home invaded, do you just, like, when you're driving and you're pulling in your driveway, do you just run into your house and lock the door and go to the bed and hide under the pillow?
Iran's not our neighbor. They're on the other side of the world.
No. Whether you're a neighbor or your ally,
we're talking.
There's still somebody you have an interest in. So do you just ignore your ally being threatened or attacked, or do you step up and be the distant cousin that you are and protect them?
So as a matter of fact,
curious what type of character you are.
Yeah, you're. I appreciate the curiosity. So analogies and metaphors will only take us so far before we have to recognize we live in the real world.
I know, in the real world, Israel and the United States are allies. And
this is not about being neighbors. Imagine that they could do some terrorism activity.
It will help if
they're doing some terrorism activity. Terrorism and some activity like this inside the U.S.
Hold on,
so this is not about that.
Please. I think that it's appropriate to interrupt from time to time as a conversation flows, but I think that those interruptions should remain grounded in the throughput of the conversation. So BB is suggested. I don't know.
Fuck what BB fucking suggested. The fuck is you?
He's a moderator, and he was polite enough to let me have an opportunity to speak and explore some ideas.
Doesn't have sound knowledge about Iran. If you don't mind, let me get into the discussion, because he just ignores the rule of Ayatollahs of Iran in spreading all the the ideology of killing Americans, killing Israelis, death to America, death to Israel, and this has started 47 years ago. In fact, if you refer to the Congress report 9/11, you will see that Iranian mullahs, they had much more rule in 9/11 than Saddam Hussein. So how come you ignore this danger? And they are going to find the atomic bomb. They are making atomic bomb. These are not just a story. This is real danger. So how come you just
also not forget that they've been chanting death to America for 47 years. How can you live with this?
It was a bad move to assassinate because Israel controlled America.
I'm going to politely bow out. BB, I respect you giving me an opportunity to speak. Thank you. Tom, thank you. It was a pleasure. I do think that there's yeah. Okay, I'm seeing my way out right now. Tom, I do respect your opinion. I would like to disagree with you and have a discussion, but I don't think we have time.
Believe me,
go
I'll
now.
leave you with one thing. He's leaving. Okay, well.
I think it was a bad move for assassinating the.
Asked earlier, hey, what foreign lit the fuse of the Iranian revolution, or rather the Islamic Revolution in Iran? I wanted to point out, I didn't have the opportunity to say this. Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini was in exile for 15 years prior to returning to Iran and leading the revolution. He was in exile in Turkey, Iraq, and France. And while he was in exile, he was just planning his revolution or his return back to his home country of Iran. Of course, I don't know if that would have furthered the conversation. We were going philosophical. I was picking up what he was putting down, but it was more of a dance with BB and Diogenes anyway. I was just adding in that context.
Do you think that it was a bad move assassinating the Iranian?
Pikachu, 1 second. Everybody, I still see a bunch of red tickets. I want you guys to all, if you're going to be part of the house, you want to be part of the conversations, I want you to cash in your red tickets at the top of the, if you don't know how to do it, it's pretty simple. I'll give you a quick 2-second tutorial where it says President Trump. There's a little arrow pointing right. Click on that. It'll say join house. Enjoy the time that you're here. Respect the mods. Please, if you want, check out the rules of the house. If you're being disrespectful to any of the mods, any of the women, especially in this house, are on stage.
Bro, this guy repeats the same thing over and over. We all heard you.
All you gotta say is shoot him, and I'll drop him. Shoot the motherfucker. There you go. You get shot. And I'll drop him from the top, from the stage to the bottom. And then, Mikhail, you can enjoy yourself. Today we purchased a brand new sex swing, and you can enjoy yourself and get fucked on that sex swing. Everybody, let's enjoy this conversation. I'm so sorry, Reza. Go ahead, take it away.
Thank you, BB. First of all, the best rooms on Clubhouse have moderators that are hypernated, moderators that drink a lot of coffee and are active in the room. And the most important thing that a moderator has to do is prevent people from droning on and on and on. I think a lot of the smartest and most interesting people in Clubhouse, they ruin rooms because they just drone on for more than 30 seconds. So if I was a moderator, I'm too lazy to be a moderator myself. I'm just too fucking lazy, I have to admit it. But if I was a moderator, I would have an egg timer. And as soon as someone started talking, I would be counting down the seconds. And after 15 seconds, there would be a beep. And as beep, I would politely...
I apologize, you were talking too long there. You went past 20
There you go, there you go. Thank you.
30 seconds.
I'm now, I've used up my 15 seconds. Just let me finish. I've used up my 15 seconds. I yield the mic to someone.
Anyway, so I have one rule when I hold the room. This is Matt's house. I'm graciously allowed to hold rooms. Me and Harry, and I always have a trusted mod, J-Lo. But my rule is everybody's allowed to speak for a minute and a half. I can't stand when people go on and on and on, and it could be some of the smartest people in this room. The problem is I look at the numbers of the room and they trend those down. Start leaving. So minute and a half. You know, it doesn't mean that you're dumb if I say, hey, please pass it to the next person, or let somebody jump in and don't leave and then take the spot back. But yeah.
By the way, I was gonna say you can do 2 minutes, let someone talk back to you, and then you can do another 2 minutes. It doesn't have to be 20 minutes total for you.
Exactly.
So that's the whole point, is having a discussion with people on stage, not just listening to you. Carry on.
This is Chicago. Put me in your queue, Dr. BB.
Yeah, no problem, man. Who else wants to be in the queue? If you can, please type your name in the chat right now. Just put me. Just type me beside your name. All right, you know what? We're just going to pass it right away to Keegan and then Chicago. And then Ocean and Mary and then David. Please remember that. Keegan, Chicago, Ocean, Mary, David. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you to the room. Listen, I'll continue to say it until, I'm beating a dead horse, but, I feel like I need to beat this dead horse because Americans, I feel like, are just being really dumb about this. Guys, it's time to let go, all right? Israel is not an ally for us anymore. It's not strategically smart, right? it'd be more smart right now for us to focus on building our relationships with Saudi Arabia, with Turkey. I mean, these are, Turkey is in NATO. Like, it is time. And once we again ally ourselves with more Muslim-leaning countries who can dominate the region, that will put us in favor with Iranians, right? Whether or not the Iranians who are pro-Iran for later on, because we understand that regime change in Iran will not work. We all understand this. You're naive to think that you can make Iran back into what it was in the 1980s, and 1970s. So, in my opinion, it is now or never, America, to get off of the wagon. The wagon is dying. Millennials and Gen Zers, we will not support Israel at all. So strategically, while this war is going on, if we decided to stop until we're done with the military backing of Israel, if Israel wants to be a sovereign nation, good for them, but they need to defend themselves or find different allies. It's time for us to focus on our allies with, the UAE, with Saudi Arabia, with Turkey, and possibly even Iran, with whoever they decide with, and really try to strengthen the Muslim regime with us. So that's all I really wanted to say, and peace to the room and to the mods.
Thank you so much. Next is Chicago. Go ahead, Chicago.
Yeah, I want to point out that Keegan said we should be developing our relationship with Saudi Arabia, and that relationship is already fully developed. We are in the thick with Saudi Arabia, and the main headline today is that MBS told Trump, do not stop fighting, do not seek peace. We have an opportunity for a regime change and to basically recreate the entire Middle East. Do not stop. Keep the momentum going. Increase the war. Increase the assassinations. Increase the destruction and chaos against Iran now. The regime has to be flattened. But that's not what I want to share with you. What I want to share with you is an article that came out by Fortune, and it's featured on Drudge Report. It's titled, "The Treasury Just Declared the U.S. is Insolvent. The Media Missed It." This is what it says. The U.S. government's insolvent. That's not hyperbole. It's the conclusion drawn directly from the Treasury Department's own consolidated financial statements for the year 2025, released last week to near total media silence. The numbers, $6.06 trillion in total assets, that's $6 trillion in assets versus $47.8 trillion in total liabilities as of September 30th, 2025. Importantly, the $47.78 trillion in reported liabilities does not include the unfunded obligations of social insurance programs like Social Security and Medicare. Those are disclosed separately in the off-balance sheet statement of social insurance, known as SOSI, S-O-S-I. The government's consolidated balance sheet position, excluding the SOSI, deteriorated by nearly $2.07 trillion between FY 2024 and FY 2025, reaching... Yeah.
Bro, you gotta wrap it up. Sorry, bro.
Oh, got it. All right. Well, what I'm trying to tell you is, I think that we should continue the war, but we have to also admit that the country is actually completely and totally broke to a very high degree. So if you're going to vote for a Democrat or a social liberalist or socialist or a communist, just know they will expand the country's debt from an already unmanageable $47 trillion in liabilities and just give out the free money, because this is an empire and they don't care if they destroy it. But the truth is, every dollar, every blood, everything we give overseas, we take away from ourselves internally as an American. So if you are one of those people on this app screaming day after day, and you are so effing annoying and you sound like a fucking banshee, well, you know what? You're just a fucking bitch, and you're low IQ, and you are obnoxious, and the music that you make sounds even worse than me. So the creators and the green bean people on this app that love to run these toxic rooms of stupidity, I salute you, because I film all these rooms and I put them on the internet.
Thank you for coming, man. Enjoy the hors d'oeuvres and the set swing down in the fucking goop. Or you can stay on stage and relax. Ocean. Mike's on you. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to say something to Keegan. Yeah, America first for sure, right? And you're an American. I'm a U.S. citizen. But you're making a mistake by saying we need to let go of Israel, which which they stand for what you stand as a nation, right? Which is freedom, and increase our friendship with countries, Arab countries, Muslim countries who are absolutely against freedom. It's in their religion. Today in 2026, you cannot practice Christianity in Saudi Arabia, buddy. You cannot. It's the public non-Islamic worship in Saudi Arabia is restricted by law and by their religion. So you're gonna become an ally with somebody who's absolutely against you all day motherfucking long, which is not gonna really work out for you because they're gonna take over your nation. That's what they're gonna do. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, throughout history, you can check every nation they took over. And that idea, yeah, you gotta do business with them, this and that, what US is doing right now, but you cannot let go of the nation that is an ally like Israel and it stand for everything you stand for. You're a Christian nation in general. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Next on the ballot, David, go ahead, buddy.
I'll just
David
say,
calling, okay.
yeah, for the record, I just disagree with everything that Keegan said.
Awesome. Now, thanks for
That's
coming,
my
David.
position. I
Next
can
is
see-
Reza. That's fucking awesome. Go ahead.
I can go if
Reza,
you'd
go ahead.
like.
You want to? Oh, you know what? Jack, you can speak in place of David. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Jack, the motherfucker's gonna speak, guys.
The motherfucker. So yeah, Saudi Arabia, sure, it's a holy land for the Muslims. You can't go pray there. You can't go practice Christianity. The same way a Muslim, a Jew, wouldn't go set up a synagogue in the Vatican. It's pretty fucking obvious. It's not that hard. You can go to Dubai and go to a church or a synagogue. You can go to, I think Karg Island, the place we're about to go take over, even has a church on it. The Iranians have a lot of Armenians, have a lot of Christians.
Americans
in
are
their own
going to get
country.
smoked at Carter Island.
Still about 10,000, still about 10 to 12,000 Jews in Iran right now. They actually have a member in parliament of the Iranian parliament that is an Iranian Jew, and he is a representative of his community. They've lived there for thousands of years. Ocean, I know you really want us to go invade your country, to go free your people, because your people, they couldn't do it themselves, so you want Americans to die for your freedom. But we're not ready to go blow up the world for every little wish and want that our little Iranian friends have. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna go in there and balkanize that bitch, split it up, end your empire. It's never gonna exist again, as it should never threaten the United States of America ever again.
Wow, that's fucking insightful. Reza, go ahead.
There are two competing armies in Iran. There's the Islamic Republic Armed Forces, and there's the Revolutionary Guard. And the dirty secret is...
And the Kurds.
Why are you interrupting me? Just let me finish.
All you gotta say is shoot him, Reza, and I'll drop him.
Please shoot him. Please shoot him. Please shoot anyone that ever interrupts me.
Sorry, John.
Okay. So the bottom line is those two armed forces hate each other. And what's going on right now is the U.S. is sending text messages to all the officers in the regular military saying, America has no quarrel. In fact, America wants the Iranian military to run the country. What America is doing is we are going to murder every single mullah, every single member of the Revolutionary Guard. After we've killed all of them, we want the regular Iranian military to take over the country. And we are happy to have a peace deal where the Iranian military runs the country. We don't insist that Reza run the country. We don't insist on any changes except for the responsible members of the Iranian military running the country. Now, by having the Iranian military run the country, they can finish the job of killing the mullahs and the Revolutionary Guard, and they can run it as a military dictatorship, which is best for the world. Now, democracy is not necessary. A military dictatorship in Iran can be a great ally to the U.S., and it can avoid a single American dying. And that's the intelligent way to win the war. Don't fight for democracy. Don't fight for what's best. Just fight for a responsible military dictatorship that will be a tight ally with America. I'm done speaking.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Next on the list is, and then Keegan wanted to be added, but it's Steppy. Steppy Tom Piccolo. Go ahead, Steppy Tom, then Piccolo. Steppy. Oh, just so you guys Sander, he did interrupt and say Kurtz, so he got shot. But I brought him back up. He got surgically back to health, and boom, Steppy, go.
Oh, okay. Hey, I was just gonna bring up what Jack said about Card Island. You know, I mean, there's a lot of good leading factors with Card Island. And then I also want to touch bases real quick with Reza said. Tell you the truth, I think the IRGC would actually settle down first, probably fully dismantle if ground troops hit Card Island, because the realization of actual combat engagement against the U.S. forces would be more traumatic visually. I'd say in the beginning that the goal would be that the regular military of Iran would empower. I don't really think it's for the people to overthrow their government or their regime. It's more the military to basically overpower it. You know, the people protesting would basically amplify and encourage the regular army to basically eradicate the IRGC. Other than that, just updates, you know, our Apaches and A-10 Warthogs are just basically belt to ass to them jet boats. You know, they're out there trying to play Miami Vice against a fucking, you know, a Death Wing of fucking skilled pilots. You know, so all the IRGC guys down the listeners that are beating their dicks off saying that they got this, you don't. You know, they're basically taking names and fucking letting it go. B-52s were out just basically carpet bombing critical targets. So yeah, I mean, I just want to let the IRGC guys that are out there making all this propaganda to show how dominant they are. That's how low they are right now, because that's the only control they got is the media. And I just want to remind people that come on here and start spitting bullshit, saying that, you know, America are invading and they're doing this. You're doing the IRGC's work when you start spouting out that bullshit. Just so you guys know, you're feeding into the propaganda and you're projecting it. That's what the IRGC knows. I said it in the beginning, from day one, when Harry and BB had a party. What do you think, Steppy? I said, hey, tit for toe, they cannot compete with the U.S. Armed Forces. Tit for tat. But what they can do is cause social discomfort in the platforms of social media. They can basically put pressure on the civilians through AI and imaging to make it look like it's more cause and damage, and then put pressure on the administration. So if you guys are jumping in here saying that, well, maybe Trump is doing wrong because of this tactic, and you're feeding that narrative, you're actually doing work for the RGC. All right, I'm done. Go.
That's right. It might be. I might be next. I'm wondering if we can try something rapid fire.
Oh yeah, Tom, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
Can you add me to the queue, please?
I thought Keegan was next.
You're after Keegan's at the very. Oh, it goes. Ruben was going to be the last one. Then KK, you go after him.
Great, thank you.
Wasn't Keegan the kid who said Gen Z no longer support Israel with that name? Because I think
that's
look, we might be in a bit of an echo chamber if we're just all supporting each other, being pro one side. I'm Israeli, I'm Jewish, and people like that. Keegan kid, I'd like them to come on and acknowledge that they're very ignorant on the topic. Yes, you're entitled to an opinion. But when your opinion includes saying something like, oh, Iran will come close, get close, become friends with the Arab countries, you're showing such basic ignorance. They've been enemies far longer than the Jews and the Arabs, or the Jews and the Persian regime, the Iranian regime. And claiming that the U.S. can become friends with Iran and then Iran would become friends with the Arabs is so stupid. And it makes me wonder, if you vote and your voice counts just as much as mine, and stupid people like you believe that they have a perspective strong enough to come on an app like this and express your opinion with having no background knowledge on the topic, I think we're fucked. I think we're doomed. I have plenty of mild opinions about all kind of shit, but I won't bother going to demonstrate, and I won't bother going on apps, and I won't bother commenting on Facebook because I don't know enough. And yet, people like you are demonstrating in the streets, changing public opinion, changing policy, stopping and starting wars with zero knowledge on topics that you have no business talking about. I'd like your perspective on why do you think that's acceptable for you to have no knowledge and be here expressing your opinion?
Okay. Yeah, Keegan.
Cool. Yeah. We could do a 45-second rebuttal.
In your face, Keegan. If Keegan's not there,
I'll wait till my turn, of course. Isn't my turn like right after? Like, isn't I'm like almost?
Yeah. You can go ahead, Keegan. Because he addressed you. I just want you to acknowledge that he stopped calling you bad names. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, but Solo's not here either way, Keegan, so go ahead.
Okay, great, yeah, and of course I can answer Tom. First of all, Tom doesn't even sound American in my opinion, so I don't really know what it means. His vote matters more than mine. You got a pretty thick accent there, buddy. But I will say,
I'm not your buddy, pal.
Wait, you're not American?
No, I'm not.
He said he wasn't at the beginning. If you were listening.
I'm sorry. He said that. Why would his? He said, okay, I'm sorry. He said, why does his vote matter as much as mine? Your vote doesn't matter at all. So I don't really know what that means.
I'm speaking on behalf of people who share my opinion here and who do vote, and I think there's a few.
Okay. Well, great. Well, their opinion may matter as Americans, but your opinion about my country does not matter at all. And you may call me ignorant, but I believe, and this is of course, before the creation of Israel in 1948, of course, there wasn't really any strong allyship with Arab nations with the United States, but that's because a lot of European countries, France and Britain especially, controlled a lot of Arab regions. But post 1948, we isolated ourselves. We became the strong allies of Israel, and that was against a lot of the goodwill of Arab nations. We don't see the same Muslim invasions and Islamic terror that we do in China and in Russia, because they have a better standing with those countries. The idea that, if I forget who said it before, but the idea that either we ally with Israel to get rid of these Arab countries because we don't want Arabs to take over the West, even though Arabs are taking over the West. Fun fact, London is majority Muslim now, and that's because we have created refugees. So either we create refugees for them to come to the West, or we allow a stronger allyship with these Arab nations, and we say, hey, listen, number one is the United States is never we are not an immediate threat. There's not an immediate threat from any other nation in the United States. We are strategically placed in we have a great region, and on top of that, we are a nuclear superpower. We have the most nukes out of any single person. At any point, we say
let's break it up, and maybe the room will grant us a couple of minutes.
Let Keegan speak.
Well, but you can't make 5 points and everybody forgets how to address them when we move on, all staying ignorant. So let's try this.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You mentioned that we created refugees. would you mind? I really appreciate it. You mentioned refugees. These are economical refugees. A tiny fraction of them are from conflict. So again, you're basing in your opinion based on, the West created refugees, and look at these refugees taking over the West. Dude, these refugees are fucking coming to fuck white women and to get jobs. These are not war refugees. And the fact that, again, you gave your whole opinion on that, well, it is what it is. I'm being politically incorrect, pardon me. I'm generalizing too. So complete nonsense, okay? And the reason the Arab world doesn't have a good relationship with the US is because your values are completely in contradiction. You think you can just make friends with your neighbor when your neighbor beats his wife in front of you, beats his children in front of you? If he has a gay son, he kills him in the backyard, and you would be neighborly with him just because you want to have a good relationship? No, you have to share values. The West does not share value with the Arab world. The only reason that some of them get along is because of oil money. And China and Russia don't have a Muslim problem because China puts 1 million Muslims in, war camps. If you fuck around with China, you disappear. If you fuck around in Russia, you get shot in the street. That's why I don't have a Muslim problem. And by the way, they both have a Muslim problem. Just look it up. But you're so ignorant. You don't know any of it. So you keep spewing stupidity, expressing your opinion and backing it up with factually simple wrong information. And again, I'll ask, why do you think you're entitled to that opinion when you're not willing to spend 5 minutes looking into these basic things?
Yeah, again, the things that you say, when I say that they don't have the terroristic, Muslim, you're absolutely right that they have Muslims in those countries. I mean, first of all, Russia has a good amount of Muslims. And yeah, China locks up and imprisons Muslims and Christians are both alike. We say that, listen, we have to you just told me that we can't be allies with people who kill gays, beats their wives, and don't have the same values as the West. Then why don't we just bomb China? Why are we not nuking China right now? Why do we have a working relationship with China? Right? Without a doubt, it's contentious, right? Without a doubt, there is always different forms of propaganda on both sides going about with China versus U.S. But you're just making no sense when you say it's not compatible with the West. But then we can somehow have working relationships with all these other countries that that don't agree with us. I don't need a country to agree with me. I don't care what you do in your country. You can beat women all you want. You can kill gays all you want. That doesn't affect the United States. What I want is for my money and my troops and and American people not to die. So I don't want domestic terrorism. And the way, again, when you create domestic terrorists, is to create the hatred of a nation. Is there a terrorist tax in Russia? Is there a terrorist tax in China? No, they lock up the Muslims, and the Muslims don't do a damn thing about it. That's the best part, is that they can't do anything about it. They just have to sit there, right? This is what I want. I want to be China with these Muslim countries. I want to lock up the Muslims, and then I don't want them in our country.
I'll yield back to the room. I'm just going to say,
you want to do business with them?
China does business with them, Ocean. You can laugh all you want, but they still do business with.
China is a problem, but they're not suicidal. You need to differentiate between two types of regime: theocratic, communist, autocratic, whatever the case may be. China, Russia, North Korea. They're not suicidal. They don't have it in their constitution to destroy you, and if that requires them blowing themselves up, so be it. That's the difference. The Arab world is willing to I'm generalizing, pardon me again. Many in the Arab world, and especially some of the leaders, are willing to commit suicide in order to take you and me out. You can't negotiate with them. You can't be friends with them. You have to manage them. And as they become stronger with AI and nukes, and every 20 years from now, anybody can build a nuke in their basement. At that point, we won't be able to tolerate these countries being on our borders. Right now, we can. In 1948, we could. You went back to 1947, 1967, we could have dealt with that then. But we can't deal with it anymore. Anybody with CRISPR can create a virus that will destroy half the world, especially 10 years from now. We can't tolerate what we've been tolerating. And again, China and South Korea and Russia, they have interests. They want to live. They want money. They want to fuck. They want to eat. They want to do drugs and drink. The Arab world wants to kill you and me so they can go to heaven with 72 virgins. You need to understand the difference between these two perspectives and how one of them
moved to the Arab world.
I didn't know that I didn't know America was in the Quran. That's kind of crazy.
I got a question for the Zios. You say this, right? You say
Yes,
this
very
is Arabs believe, this is what the Muslims believe. Why did you form your project to go move in the region with 400 million Arabs?
Well, my family's been in Israel for over 300 years. Before then, we're not sure where we came from. So if you doubt the Jews originate from Israel, then I
No, I'm talking about the Aliyah movements, right? Where a bunch
because
of you guys
we're Jews who were massacred like rats and cockroaches around the world for 2,000 years, culminating in the Holocaust. They concluded that they have to have a place of their own, and by all measurable metrics and all reason and all cultural, historical, pragmatic reasons in the world, the place that they belong to is Israel.
Okay, but
that's not true. You guys can live in a world of peace. You can have lives that are fruitful. But unfortunately, people are going to go and burn in eternity in hell because you got that Jesus Christ. I'm just telling you, please accept Jesus Christ. Hey, wow, you demon, let me finish. I'm doing the Lord's work on the stage. You need to accept Jesus Christ and everything will follow. It'll be great.
Christ is king. Christ is king, Pepe.
That's anti-Semitic. But why did you move, Tom? Like you said, these Arab Muslims want to kill you and get 72 versions.
Jack, and not in the good way,
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna end the back and forth. That was good. You know, a little interlude like that. That's fine. KK, you're up.
I let them flow for a while because I felt like it was important.
It's your turn, KK. Go.
Wait.
Okay, great.
Actually, KK, Ruben's first, and then you. I'm sorry, I am going by the queue here.
Yes, I delegate my speaking privileges to.
Jack interrupted Alan. How can you go?
Thank you, Ruben. I appreciate that, Ruben.
Kika.
Yeah, and again, just final points here that Tom's trying to make. The idea that, again, we've allied ourselves since 1948 with a country that has the same, the Greater Israel plan, right? The land that these religious Jews believe they are promised is not Israel. It is from the Euphrates to the Nile, guys. That's a lot of land, guys. That involves a lot of countries, okay? So, religious Jews, buddy. Tom, religious Jews. What do you mean, how many are there?
Buddy pal.
Yeah, and then also, this isn't back and forth anymore. Ruben gave me his time, so now this should be uninterrupted, in my opinion.
Exactly.
But again, my final point is if we say that Muslims want to destroy all these nations because of a religious prophecy, the same prophecy for the Jews, the same prophecy for the Christians. Christians believe in end times. Christians believe in a holy war. You know, these things you can either take literal and you think that they can actually do them, or you can go, you know what, I think that there's a way that we can strategically place ourselves in allyship with countries that maybe disagree with us in views, the way that we always have, right? Or because we're dealing with Israel right now, Israel doesn't agree with us. We don't have the same views, right? They suck on baby penises, right? They're weird, all right? They're pedophiles. We don't like that. We don't agree with that in the West. So that's what we need to do, in my opinion. I say we drop the dying, diseased leg, we chop it off, and we say, let us go with a new. So that's what I want to say, and thank you, Matt. Thank you, Ruben, for the time, and KK.
All right, KK, you're up.
Okay, great, thank you. When someone said earlier, London is filled with Arabs, and they're all asylum seekers. They're absolutely not. They're not all asylum seekers. The asylum system has been gamed across the entire fucking globe. If you go into London, into Knightsbridge, it's all SW1 area. It's all Arabs, all of them.
That's true.
Some Arab just bought a license plate, a card plate. It's what they call in the UK, for $3 million so he can have his own number. Okay, that, all the supercars that I drive up and all these there are fucking wicked. So this whole idea like, oh, they're asylum, they're all poor asylum seekers. No, that's one point. The other point of someone saying that we are ignorant Americans and don't know, you're right. A lot of us are, but unfortunately, for the past several decades, all Americans and Westerners, we've all been kind of led to believe that Arab nations bad, Western nations great. Arab nations, all Muslim Arab nations, and all the people that live in them are bad, and then they're sniper style IRGC members that are just kind of standing out of post and whatnot, and they're actually sharing videos of that shit. So I wanted to know
You who have conquered by subtlety, your force.
ask you to sacrifice. Nothing at mine altar. I am the God who giveth all. 20 wavelengths. Life, love, force, fantasy, fire. These do I bring you. Mine hands are full of these. There is joy in the setting out. There is joy in the journey. There is joy in the goal. 20 feet. Only if ye are sorrowful, or weary, or angry, or discomforted, then ye may know that ye have lost the golden thread. The thread wherewith I guide you to the heart of the groves of Eleusis. My disciples are proud and beautiful. They are strong and swift. They rule their way like mighty conquerors. 25. The weak, the timid, the imperfect, the cowardly, the poor, the tearful. These are mine enemies, and I am come to destroy them. This also is compassion, an end to the sickness of earth, a rooting out of the weeds, a watering of the flowers. 25. Oh, my children, ye are more beautiful than the flowers. Ye must not fade in your season. 28. I love you. I would sprinkle you with the divine dew of immortality. 29. This immortality is no vain hope beyond the grave. I offer you the certain consciousness of bliss. 30. I offer it at once on earth before an hour hath struck upon the bell. You shall be with me in the bowls that are beyond decay.
Against them that seek to enslave you. 11, I pour you lustral wine, that giveth you delight both at the sunset and the dawn. 12, come with me, and I will give you all that is desirable upon the earth. 13, because I give you that of which earth and but as shadow. 14, they flee away, but my joy abideth even unto the end. 15, I have hidden myself beneath a